what is this? This is amazing. You know,
It catches you on first listen type thing, right?
when we were hearing this shit back then, this was new. This was a new thing. We hadn't heard this.
Every
before.
member of that band spans the entire all of the people who listened to metal that you knew in high school.
I still play it weekly.
Here we go.
Let's go all the way.
A little heavier here for you.
Bit of a cheat in terms of one off because I am familiar with some other songs by them, but like loosely familiar. It's like this is a song that they're a small band or they're, I don't know.
I've heard you play a song several times at this point. This is
Right,
like,
but you don't know the rest of them kind of thing. It's just
Definitely.
like, and everyone, I mean, anyone who knows them, it's not an underrated song by them per se, but it's an underrated song in general. It's fucking legit. Like I've been listening to it for 15 years. I still play it weekly. Just a banger. Just an absolute banger.
How'd you come across this?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
It's
Probably back in high school when I was making those compilation videos of like epic breakdown music, and I was listening to other people who were making the same thing at the time, and I probably came across it that way, probably because the song has legit heavy breakdowns. And this is old stuff, man. That's the people need to understand if they're, if you're kind of new to metal and stuff, and you're coming down this rabbit hole through us. Let's say it's like this is. When we were hearing this shit back then, this was new. This was a new thing. We hadn't heard this before. What is this? This is amazing. Yeah. Whereas like now, maybe I don't know what it's like to be in high school now, being a metalhead. Like who knows how they go down a rabbit hole, right? Because there's so many directions for them to go. There wasn't that many directions for us back then, right? It was kind of like
you could dig a little bit back then.
It would get weird pretty quick. It would get weird quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mostly an album thing though too. Even like in the early days for us in high school, it was like you'd have to go to like
that was the other problem, right? You wouldn't just find out about random shit. It's like either it was on Much Music or something, or you found it on somebody's MySpace.
Yeah. Or on LimeWire or something like that. Yeah.
Which you wouldn't download random music on LimeWire if you had half a fucking brain. If you had half a fucking brain, Like you weren't stumbling across shit back then, man. You weren't stumbling across stuff back then.
If you saw like a LimeWire download that was like Eminem featuring Avenged Sevenfold, you're like, no. I'm not gonna
and then Jay-Z did it with Linkin Park. Like, is this legit? I'm scared. And then you did it like, oh, this is fucking nice. All right.
It's actually real. Okay, yeah.
We didn't have that kind of access, that we do now. Just like, I don't know how we came.
But now
so it's like,
it's
like Veil Maya. The only reason I came across Veil Maya and we got into the gent hole to begin with was It's Not Safe to Swim Today because I was making those videos back in the day. That's it.
For Veil Maya, for me, it was Uprising. I remember it was the Uprising that got me into Veil Maya. Like that's how I started with Veil Maya. I remember like, I don't know. I think you showed me Veil Maya, but then
I have the video where I clipped it in. Yeah. It's still on my Cal. If you go to YouTube, go to Cal Open. It's on one of my compilation videos. Veil Maya, It's Not Safe to Swim. That was when I discovered them.
I very specifically remember it being the Uprising that caught my attention with them.
Well, because you weren't metal at all then.
No, yeah.
So like that was just like a nice. What is this sound? This is nice.
Yeah.
And then I always just blast the shit out of it in the basement all the time, and it just like grew on you. It became a thing.
Yeah. All right. Through the Eyes of the Dead, 2 inches from a main artery.
That's the thing about these one-offs. There's not a whole lot you can talk about them. It just like here's a good song that we've heard throughout our years.
Like sometimes like what separates a one-off from something that you're gonna follow through with. There's a lot of bands.
So for these guys, they are worth, particularly this album. It's worth like continuing on with because the rest of it does get catchy. But like I would say back then a lot of this shit was experimental and stuff. And blind squirrel finds a nut. No offense to these guys. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Classic, man. Classic. Let's go.
Dude, let's fucking go. That's so sick. Yo, they need to figure out this stuff with these YouTube videos. Where like the shit like comes in showing you that's like towards the end of the video, and like we're just hitting the breakdown, dude. Like chill out.
Yeah.
you're ruining the vibe, man.
That's up to prosthetic records doing that. But
That's fucked.
There's no excuse to interrupt a song like that.
dude, I swear to God that band looks like every metal person I ever knew in high school.
Dude, I'm just gonna say, okay, so like any metal person knows there's like one person in like we don't really have a metal group, really. Never really did, but like everyone knows like a metal
Metal kids. Yeah.
The metal oracle person you went to in high school who like was a metal person when you necessarily weren't.
Every member of that band spans the entire all of the people who listened to metal that you knew in high school.
Ironically, that guy, the lead singer there, was wearing a Despised Icon shirt. Guy who introduced me to Despised Icon in health class when the teacher was talking about penises on the fucking screen. He played MVP. He put the earbud in my ear and played MVP. And it was the first time I heard like real deathcore shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I love it to death. And he looked like that guy.
Yeah.
And it was Despised Icon. And it was Despised Icon. Like 100%.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying,
That was
100%.
But that was the era. Like we all looked like that.
They were playing that role to a T, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were in it. They were part of that.
Even the video, while I'm watching this, I'm thinking of the logistics of all of it. At this point, like the legalities, like I guess there's legalities behind now, like where the record company is that help them do that. Because you like watch that video.
You think there's a record company behind it?
I have no idea. I'm guessing the record company must have bought the rights.
I think back then, man, maybe, but we were just fucking filming. We would have been filming our own shit.
That's definitely what they did. Like they definitely.
Yeah.
Some dude with a fisheye lens just filmed that shit.
Because every skating group had a guy who had a camera who could film shit.
Yeah. But the
nice
the
too,
fact
man.
that there's like it's behind a record company at this point, still somehow, like God only knows what fucking prosthetic record even fucking does anymore.
Prosthetics?
They're doing some obviously at some point, still somewhat
Interesting.
It's all like low level like production company, but God only knows. Like the
bottom line is, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's a fucking banger, dude. Like that makes you move. That makes you energetic. Like when you're young and you're not sure what this fucking shit's about, it catches you on first listen type thing, right? Whereas like a lot of metal these days, like you know, a lot of the stuff we like now, takes some time, right?
It's definitely a good gateway drug for metal. Yeah, definitely.
Like, you listen to this, you like it? Yes. Okay, you're in. You don't like it? Okay, just bail. It's just like an instant. Either you're in or you're not. Like it's heavy as fuck, but it's like it's
not overly complicated. There's not too much like to like think about or whatever.
And like the lyrics are like you know you can pick them out pretty easy.
It's a headbanger.
You can't sit still for that shit.
That's the kind of shit that you really get into like in your teenage years. Like that was high school for us. Like
gets you so hyped, dude. You're just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. I listened to a crap load of that when I was in school.
Hey everybody, let's keep this show rolling. Up next, kind of obscure. Life ruiner. If being fake was an Olympic sport. It's coming up next. Let's get heavy. Stay tuned.
Bounce.